Now she's answered my prayers and brought out some bronzers, which I'm so excited about. This bronzer is huge. Like, look at it in comparison to my head. I'm a bit of a bronzer whore, however, and I do like to be a little bit more bronze than this. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and hello if you are new, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe before you leave, that would be absolutely amazing. So as you can already tell from the title of this video, today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo of the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. Now this product I have been waiting for a long time. I didn't know she was coming out with this until Trend Mood posted it on their Instagram. So I found out about this on there and I was so happy because, in case you didn't, my dog is literally doing the most outside. And I was just so excited about this product because, if you didn't already know, I am a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow. That is one of my all-time favourite products from Charlotte Tilbury because the bronzer shade in there is just so perfect for me anyway. I just absolutely love the way it applies. It's so smooth, but I hated buying it all the time because I never really used the highlight side of it much. I only really used the bronzer, so I just felt like it was a waste of money. I always used to say I would just prefer it if she just sold the bronzer on its own, but now she's answered my prayers and brought out some bronzers, which I'm so excited about. So these launched the other day and I did pick up 2 shades because, to be honest, I was unsure of what shade I would be. She does have 4 shades in this collection, and I will say they aren't the most diverse shades I've ever seen in my life. I feel like she could have done with an extra 2 shades, if I'm being honest, like on the more darker side, because if you're really deep skin then you probably wouldn't be able to get away with even the darkest bronzer in this collection. Yeah, I kind of feel like with the bronzer shades, like for me personally, I'm very fair, as you can see. I'm very pale person. I could probably get away with using shade 1 to shade 3, whereas I don't really think that should be the case. I feel like there should be more dark shades to suit darker skin, but that's just me personally, that's just my opinion. I picked up the shades 1 and the shades 2. Obviously shade 1 is the fairest and shade 2 is the second fairest, and obviously I'm very pale, so I picked up shade 1 thinking that this would be the kind of perfect colour for if I don't want to look too bronze. So this is what the bronzer looks like. As you can see, it comes in the most gorgeous packaging. This is probably the most stunning packaging I've ever seen. It's got this dome shape with all of these kind of beautiful lines going across, and inside here you have your bronzer with the Charlotte Tilbury embossing here and the little star. So it is beautiful. This bronzer is huge. Like, look at it in comparison to my head. In fact, I'm just going to get Charlotte Tilbury powder, like a regular size one, just so we can compare. Okay, so this is one of her blushes. This is the same exact size as the powders and the blushes, and this is the size of the bronzer. So as you can see, yeah, it's big. It's a big old bronzer. So yeah, you definitely get a lot of product for your money. How much product do you actually get? Yeah, so in the bronzer you get 0.56 ounces, and in the normal powders you get 0.28. So yeah, you get almost double the amount of product in this, which is actually pretty good. So these retail for £39, which I think is obviously a very high price point, but then you have got to remember it's Charlotte Tilbury, her products are high end, very high quality, and also this is a big bronzer. Like, you're getting a lot of product in here. This is going to take you a long time to finish up. Also, what I thought was amazing about this is actually refillable. So yeah, you can take the bronzer out of the pan and you can buy this separately and then just add it to your component, which I think is a really good idea, because having to buy this whole bronzer again would be really long, considering the packaging is so beautiful and it's also quite hefty. You've got a nice big mirror, so I feel like having the refill is such a brilliant idea, and I don't know why she doesn't do that with the rest of her products. I also think it's really good for the environment. Obviously it's better for packaging, it's less wasteful, although I couldn't actually see the refills available to buy online at the moment. I feel like that's something that she's going to implement in the next few months or few weeks. They wasn't available online as far as I could see, probably because no one's going to really be buying the refills at the moment because they haven't finished up the bronzer yet, where it's only just launched. Without further ado, I'm just going to apply the bronzers so we can see kind of how they apply onto the skin and what I think of them. I am going to be applying shade 1 to this side of my face and shade 2 to this side of my face, just so we can see the difference in colours, and if you're a similar sort of skin tone to me, then hopefully that gives you a bit of a gauge of what colour to go for. So I'm going to go in with my little Anastasia brush. This brush is the A19. I absolutely love this brush for applying bronzer and blusher with. So this is shade number 1. I'm just going to take a little bit on the brush, and this is a very pale bronzer. This is a lot more pale than I thought it would be. It almost looks like the same shade as my airbrush powder, like it's that pale. But yeah, I'm just going to go in with it anyway, and I'm going to kind of almost stamp it on because I have got quite a lot of cream products on today and I haven't really powdered my face, so I don't want it to cling. If you are someone that's familiar with Charlotte Tilbury products and you're familiar with the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, which is actually one of her best-selling products and it's just such a beautiful finely milled powder, then this formula is basically the exact same as that but in a bronzer. So it's a really kind of smoothing formula. So this is how the bronzer has applied onto my skin, considering I barely had any powder and this is all just kind of cream products that I had underneath. It has applied to my skin so smoothly. I didn't already mention, I don't think, but I have already used these a couple of times before, so I do already know how they perform and last on the skin. But this has applied to my skin so smoothly. As you can see, it hasn't clung to any of the kind of stickier patches of my face, and it's also built up really nicely as well because I have obviously put a few layers on. In terms of the colour, it is almost a perfect colour for me. This looks like a natural bronzer colour for me. I'm a bit of a bronzer whore, however, and I do like to be a little bit more bronze than this. So for me personally, I do prefer shade 2, just because this is almost for me a little bit too pale. Like this would probably be the colour I would recommend for someone of my skin tone because this will look the most kind of natural and like you haven't put too much bronzer on. However, like I said, I do like my bronzer and I prefer my bronzer to be a tiny bit darker, but I am really happy that I have this shade in my collection because I feel like this will be such a good almost like transition shade. Okay, so this is what shade 2 looks like. So as you can see, it is actually still quite a pale bronzer shade. If we actually put 1 and 2 together here, you can see that obviously 1 is paler but 2 isn't really that much darker at all. And if you're someone of my colour, like I say, you could easily get away with both of these. So I'm going to take a different brush. This brush is from Holly Boone Cosmetics and I'm going to apply this. I just want it to be on a clean brush so that we're not mixing the two colours together. So as you can see, this one is definitely deeper to shade 1, obviously, as you would expect because it's a darker shade. I feel like I'm applying less of this product to get the desired effect that I want, so I'm only having to kind of dip my brush in once and I'm getting the kind of bronzer shade that I would usually use and usually really like. Okay, so that is the 2 bronzers applied. As we can see, we have shade 2 on this side and shade 1 on this side. I feel like shades is kind of a personal preference. I like both of the shades. I will definitely be using both of them up. However, I do prefer shade 2 on me because I just feel like it gives me that kind of effect that I want straight away without having to build it up. Other than that, the actual formula of the bronzer is beautiful and to be honest, I can't really fault it at all. It goes onto the skin so smoothly. It's literally like butter and it applies really evenly as well, which I love. This is a completely matte bronzer, however, so some people will find that they prefer more of a sheen in their bronzer. I personally don't really mind if my bronzer is matte or shiny because I feel like I get the shine from a highlighter anyway, but if you are someone who likes a shiny kind of shimmery bronzer, this one might not be for you. But other than that, I think it's absolutely stunning and I think she's done a really good job of the bronzer. If you do like the makeup that I already had on, I did actually film this as a kind of full face of Glossier makeup, so I will either already have that on my channel or it'll be the next video that I post, so stay tuned for that, or if it already is up, I will link it in the description box below. But yeah, that's it guys, so that's it for the video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you were thinking about getting the bronzer, let me know in the comments if you've already purchased it and you like it, or if you don't like it, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you go and follow me over on Instagram as well because I post over there every single day. Also like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.